Hello, welcome back. So let's get started with our Jenkins course. First, we are going to start with history. Sometimes when you do a search online or other times, you may get two words around. One is Hudson, one is Jenkins. Don't get confused about that. There is little bit history behind that. We are not going into that much depth. Around 2004, at the company's Sun, there was a developer named as Kaushiki who started a hobby project, and at that time it was named as Hudson. Over the years, Hudson became very well known, and it was adopted by more and more teams within the Sun for their own projects. In the 2008, Sun recognized the quality and the value of the tool and asked the Kaushiki to work full time on Hudson. In 2009, Oracle purchased the Sun. Towards the end of 2010, tension arose between the Hudson developer community and Oracle. The tensions were because of the way the project was being managed. The Oracle wanted to move towards a more strictly controlled development process with a slower release schedule, whereas the Hudson developers, led by Kaushiki, preferred to continue with open, flexible, fast-paced, community-focused model that has worked so well. In January 2011, the Hudson developer community decided to rename the project as Jenkins and subsequently migrated the original Hudson code base to a new GitHub project and continued their work over there. As of today, most of the developers are using Jenkins, and those who are not using Jenkins, they are still migrating from Hudson to Jenkins. So we are going to work with Jenkins as a continuous integration tool. In the context of continuous integration, there is one more thing which is very much helpful, that is called version control system. So I highly recommend you to go with the version control system. We are going to use Git throughout our course. So if you don't have knowledge of Git, first go and take the knowledge of Git. Just an overview for the version control system. Let's say two developers are working simultaneously on the same file, and developer 1 has done some coding and has put his changes into the shared file. After some time, developer B is putting his changes into the same file. So the old changes might be lost if you are not having any version control system, or later on the time you cannot have a trace of what changes were done by which developer. So to overcome all these type of problems, version control system is there, and we are going to use Git and GitHub as our version control system. So basically, developers put their code into the Git, or we can say GitHub will be doing the merging for our code. Next is the introduction of continuous integration, which is the main basic part of Jenkins introduction. We can say Jenkins is a continuous integration tool. Fine, but what is continuous integration? All the developers or all the team managers might be already knowing about the word integration. For all the software development team or all the developers, integration is somewhat painful at all the levels. When you do integration of the code, things generally break, and it may lead to whole merge process into breaks. Mostly at times, different developers, they don't do the integration so much, and when they do, it will create problems. The build will not work, and unit test may not pass, and you may lose the stability of your product. So the solution is continuous integration. Means as soon as you implement some code, it should be merged with other developers, or it should be merged with your centralized system, and it should be tested at the same time. Nowadays, most of the development team and companies following this manner. Instead of having a build once in a day, instead of having a build once in a week, you have to make a build several times in a day. It is a process that needs to be followed by the whole team. Now, whenever you are making a build several times a day, it should be automatically tested. So, if there is an error, it can be identified at the earlier stage of development lifecycle, and it can be resolved at the earlier stage of development lifecycle. So, at the end, there will be no lots of bugs. In the continuous integration, we do some coding, it should be built, it should be tested. If there is error, I will be notified at the same time. So I just know that this code has broken the build, so I can check that code and I can remove the issues. So ultimately, the less time will be going for debugging, and team can spend more time for the developing of features. Jenkins is a continuous integration tool. It automates most of the tasks you need in order to get continuous integration. We can call it as a build server. It is very popular tool for integration. A good thing about Jenkins is it's open source where great support is available. It's a Java based tool. It has its own mini web server built in, so it's very easy to deploy, get up and running on the web server. It makes Jenkins so popular. Even another feature about Jenkins is it's highly extensible. A large amount of functionality is found in the form of plugins. So whatever functionality you want, you can find out the plugin for that. There are lots of plugins available, so you can use any of the version control system according to your requirement. So if we talk about the system architecture where the Jenkins fits in, so we can say the developers are doing the coding, they are putting their code to the GitHub, or we can say our version control system. From the version control system, Jenkins takes all the codes automatically, and it can check whether there is the build fail or success. In the case of build fail, it can be notified to the developer that because of this code or because of this commit, the build has been failed. So please check and go ahead. So after the introduction, let's get started with Jenkins.